All right, this is hands down my favorite exercise. After a warm up, when you're ready, let's get into it. We're going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. Again, I do it here, first fret up and back, second fret up and back, all the way to the 12th fret, and then all the way back again, okay? Now, we're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do the example here on the 5th fret, and you're gonna leave your fingers down, all right? This gets very tricky because we're used to lifting them up, right? Not only that, we have to maintain a little bit of pressure in the string while spreading our fingers out. It does get very tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're gonna wanna swing your hand forward and move your thumb sort of behind your middle or even your ring finger, right, to evenly distribute. Don't have it behind your first finger because that's gonna get all of that strength, all right, and then you're gonna lose with each finger that you're pressing down. So get it right in the middle, right in between those two fingers. Now, don't move your next finger until it's ready to be played. That's why you need to swing a little bit forward to get that leverage, to get that up, over, and out of the way with your pinky finger. This builds speed, but there is no reason now to try and go fast. We're just trying to get the notes nice and clean, get the pinky out of the way, and we're training your fingers to stay low. If you see people that play really, really fast, they're not doing that, right? It's almost, if you actually look up like Guinness World Records, fastest guitar players in whatever year, it sort of looks like they're just doing this. They're cutting the movement down as little as possible. This exercise is amazing as it just sinks in to our playing. It's not something that we have to think about. We can do this exercise and then just go right back to how we play, and it will start training our hands to stay, or our fingers, I should say, to stay closer to the fret, not making that much movement. What's really funny is if I'm doing this, right, if I'm just moving that much, and I decide to move this much, I am creating 2 to 3 times more movement, which means I'm going 2 to 3 times slower, and then also adding extra musculature in there to get that much movement, right? More muscle, more movement just means more muscle. So we're gonna be tensing easier because we're adding more muscle to the movement, and then we're going to be playing slower. So this is perfect for just keeping our fingers close, okay? So again, you're going to want to over squeeze because we're used to lifting our fingers up. There's no reason to over squeeze. You don't have to. You can put your fingers down nice and lightly. You can have them all down at the same time. They're nice and easy. I usually do, and then I stop, right? Just take a breath. If you're picking really lightly, as you should be, it will lighten up your left hand, right? They'll sort of go, they'll go together. Or I guess your fretting hand, if you're a lefty guitar player. If you're picking really lightly, it will help lighten up this hand because we want to go as light as possible. Now, we don't have the same benefit going in the reverse order because we have to get the fingers out of the way. So what I like to do on this way, the descending, is stop on my third finger for twice as long because we lose that leverage with the third finger. That tends to be the weakest and the hardest one to sort of get moving. So the reverse, right, and it just gives me a little bit more squeeze and a little bit more push with that third finger. This is something that I do a lot if I take a weekend off. You know, when I was traveling, I wasn't playing a whole lot. So this really sets my hand up in a better place to then continue playing. You know, kind of gets my strength back, gets my agility back, and my fingers sort of moving in an appropriate way rather than lifting up too much. I can tell if I just try to like speed through that descending, I'm lifting up too much, and I can feel the pressure of my third finger not pressing the string down as much as my other ones. So that's something that I always like to work on. So I do it here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm sorry, I know I'm adding speed to it. It's going to be a little bit more difficult down here to get that pinky up and out of the way. So a really great way to start the exercise, if this is difficult for you, it might be to start up on the 12th fret or the 10th fret, however long you want to make this exercise. Just think the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. But starting here and then moving down until it starts getting a little bit uncomfortable. Don't overcompensate with your wrist. You don't have to. If this is too hard, it's too hard right now. You know, I mean, you could see the amount of spread that my fingers need, right? That's a lot. Okay, so just do it in a place that's very, very comfortable, and then on the way back, just to hit that third finger. And it's a great strength and agility building exercise, and it's going to help us get faster just because we're training our fingers to stay down. It builds speed without us having to do the exercise fast. You will notice that you might start getting a little bit quicker because of it, right? Keeping this pick nice and light, keeping it close, and then keeping your fingers nice and close. It will help everything else get faster, but we don't have to do this particular exercise very quickly. So try it. It's my favorite.